Well, Amherst, as you know, is a wonderful place to live. The services that we have, the quality of life, and the residents. I love that our communities find creative ways to overcome problems and face obstacles. And we also have a lot of heart. Out of all the places that I've ever lived, there's so much charitable giving, and I just find that to be extraordinary. When I moved here, I finished law school at UB, and I started practicing real estate law. It allows me to help first-time homebuyers to achieve their dream of home ownership, and I like that. It allows me to be tied into the community and to do what I think is lasting and meaningful good. A couple of years ago, my wife and I started Au Pour l'Amour du Chocolat in Snyder. It's a chocolate and ice cream place. Shortly after that, we purchased Sweet Jenny's, and through those shops, we've been able to become involved in the community and do what we consider to be good. I also serve on various boards and charitable organizations. You guessed it, it allows me to be able to do meaningful good and to help people. For me, running for the Amherst Town Board is just a larger vehicle to accomplish that same thing. So I gave you some biographical information for anybody who didn't know. I said that I was an attorney. I have a small practice in Williamsville. I own 2 businesses. So what does that mean? It means that I've learned how to budget, how to control cost. It means that I understand things like hard work, humility. It means that I understand that common sense principles always need to run the day, whether it's in the private sector, in business, or in government. It also means that I understand sacrifice. I had a tough time growing up. I fought for my education. I fought to find my place in the community and to find my voice. And it's what I want for residents, to have that engagement, to let them understand government in a more meaningful way, and to have them find their voice. They say before you get involved in an endeavor, you should know what you're getting into. I became a student of Amherst in that regard, not just its statistics and its facts, not just its people, but how it works. So I toured the wastewater treatment plant. I met with our police chief, our police officers, met with our union representatives. I met with fire chiefs, fire department personnel. I also met with residents from all over Amherst. And I'm ready to do the job because I've learned it and I listen. When you're coming up with a political platform, I think it's easy to find one particular drum to beat or one particular promise to make, whether it's cutting taxes or being against development or something of that nature. The problem is, if you get the job over that 4 years that you serve, how do you govern effectively? How do you then listen to people from all across Amherst and discern what's appropriate and what's proper? I feel like you've really limited yourself in that regard if you commit yourself to a linear way of thinking and don't take in new information. I will tell you that for campaigns, what I've been exposed to, it seems like we use a lot of words like honesty and integrity. I've done it, they're in my ads, but I do think that accountability is something that I apply in my marriage, in the way that I practice law, and I also apply it in my business dealings. Because I said what I did about having a platform doesn't mean I don't have something that I call a hopeful ideology. There are things I'd like to accomplish. I'd like to be able to hold the line on spending, like these gentlemen. I'd like to be able to reduce cost, get vacant buildings tenanted, like to be able to create that open system of government where we have that engagement and that understanding amongst our residents. And I'd also like to foster small business so that we have meaningful job growth. I mean, things are great here, that's true. And as Barb said, they could always be just a little bit better. And that's what I'm striving for. So I'd ask that you vote on November 5th for real experience and real leadership, and then you vote for me, Howard Cadmus. So